Hello and welcome to another Tunisian crochet tutorial. This is another whole pattern tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to be working on the Lacy Blossom Shawl. For this shawl you will need about 2 skeins of approximately 400 meters of fingering weight yarn. I used the West Yorkshire spinners in a seascape. You will need Tunisian crochet hook, 4mm Tunisian crochet hook with a cable of approximately 100 centimeters. So this shawl is crocheted along the long edge. That's why we need a very long cable. Okay, so this pattern is classed as easy because it's basically after we established the first few rows, we'll be working only 2 row repeats. So in this pattern, you will practice variety of skills such as chains, Tunisian crochet technique, working all in forward and return passes, Tunisian simple stitch, Tunisian full stitch, Tunisian double crochet, and bind off. And also you will practice your blocking because the stitch pattern really comes to life once you block and open up the lace. Okay, so approximate measurements of the shawl are 162 centimeters times 45, so it's nice, a light rectangular shawl. Okay, so in the pattern it says that you will need to start by working 323 chains. I'm not going to do this for the demonstration. I'm going to work a smaller stitch repeat. Okay, so I'm going to be working some smaller stitch repeat. So what we need to do, we need to start with a slip knot and some chains. Okay, so the first row would be our usual foundation row. Okay, and I'm going to finish my chain. I think this will be enough for the demonstration, and we are going to be working into back bumps. We are going to be working into a back bumps of the chain stitches. Basically this is your traditional foundation row of your Tunisian crochet. Okay, pardon my if you hear any tapping. I'm using double-ended hook for this demonstration, and it might start tapping on the edge of my table. Okay. Okay, so we are almost at the end, and now we are going to be for the foundation row we are going to be working our standard return pass. Okay, the stitch pattern really starts from row 2. Okay, so here we go. We are going to be working at chain 1 and yarn over, pull through 2. That's our standard return pass. Okay, so this bit is quite easy. If you think that I'm going too fast for your level of skill, you can pause this video and find my video on how to do your foundation row in Tunisian crochet, where I explain everything in detail, and I'll go over the stitches very slowly. Then you can come back to this one. Okay, right, so we've got our foundation row done. Yours, if you're following the pattern, is going to be much longer, because in the pattern I established that we will start with a chain of 323 stitches. Okay, so it's quite long. Now we are going to be working our row number 2. Okay, so the row number 2 forward pass is, we are going to be working Tunisian double crochet in next 2 stitches. Okay, Tunisian double crochet is worked as yarn over. We will insert the hook from right to left under the next vertical bar, yarn over and pull through. Then we yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, that's Tunisian double crochet. So let's do it once more slowly. We yarn over, insert the hook from right to left under the next front vertical bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we've got 2 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Now we are going to be working a stitch pattern of Tunisian simple stitches in next 3 stitches, Tunisian double crochet in next 3, and we will repeat this until the very last 2 stitches. Okay, so 3 Tunisian simple stitches, 1 2 3, 3 Tunisian double crochet, that's 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and back to 3 Tunisian simple. It's 1 2 3, and again Tunisian double, and we will work this stitch pattern until the last 2 stitches. Okay, and last Tunisian double. Now we've got another stitch here and then the edge stitch. So what we are going to do now is we are going to be working 1 Tunisian simple and then our edge stitch. Okay, so we're going to do 1 Tunisian simple next, and then working edge stitch. We work edge stitches as working under both of these bars of the last stitch. We yarn over and pull through. Okay, sorry. So we are going to be working 1 Tunisian simple stitch and then 1 edge stitch. Edge stitches are working under both bars of the last stitch, like so. So we usually rotate the fabric towards ourselves and work under both of these bars, the right and the left bar. Yarn over and pull through. That's it. Okay, now a return pass of row number 2 is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be our standard return pass. We are going to be working a special repeat. So we start with yarn over and we are going to draw through 3 loops, 1 2 3, and this creates a half blossom, what is referred in a pattern as a half blossom. And now we're going to be working the stitch pattern. So we chain 2, 1 2, we yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, then we chain 2, 1 2, we yarn over and draw through 6 loops, yarn over, and we do 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, and we made a full blossom by pulling through 6 loops together. Okay, and we repeat this pattern to last 3 loops or last 3 stitches. So again we need to chain 2, 1 and 2, we yarn over and draw through 2 loops, we chain 2, 1 and 2, and we yarn over and pull through 6 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we've got still some stitches left here, so we chain 2, 1, 2, we yarn over and pull through 2, 1 and 2, we chain 2, 1, 2, and we pull through 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we've got 3 loops on our hook, we chain 2, 1 and 2, and we yarn over and draw through 2 loops, so twice. So yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we are, so this is what we get after the row number 2, and we get back to the beginning of our row. So now we are going to be working row number 3, and this is the first row of our stitch repeat. Okay, so for row number 3, the forward pass, we are going to be working, we work first Tunisian simple, Tunisian full stitch. So Tunisian simple, we know it's insert the hook from right to left under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull through. Tunisian full stitch is worked between a next 2 front vertical bars. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. We work inside the hook from front to back, we yarn over and pull through. So that's our Tunisian full stitch. Now we're going to be starting our stitch pattern repeat. So we are going to be working 3 Tunisian double crochet into the top of the blossom. The top of the blossom is the chain loop that enclosed the full or half blossom. Okay, so that's the first chain stitch that we worked after we worked our blossom. Okay, so we are going to be working 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches into this top of this loop. So that's 1, 2 and 3, and then we are going to be working Tunisian full stitch into the next stitch on the next space, and Tunisian simple stitch and Tunisian full stitch, and that's our repeat. Okay, so Tunisian full, Tunisian simple, Tunisian full. Okay, and now again we are going to be working 3 double crochet stitches into the top of this blossom. So we are going to be working first, second and third Tunisian double crochet, and then Tunisian full, simple and Tunisian full. Okay, and repeat that again. So I'm going to get to the end of my row, so we repeat, the stitch pattern is repeated to the half blossom, which was basically the beginning of the return pass here. So I need to repeat one full repeat of the stitch pattern. So we are going to do 3 Tunisian double crochet into the top of the blossom, 1, 2 and 3, and then Tunisian full, Tunisian simple, Tunisian full. Okay, so now in my work I got to the end of my row, to the half blossom, and we will be working 2 Tunisian double crochet into the top of this blossom. Okay, that's 1 and 2. Okay, so that's forward pass of the row number 3. Now the return pass, we yarn over and draw through 1 loop, and now we start our repeat. So we need to chain 2, yarn over, draw through 6 loops, chain 2, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, and we repeat this to the last 5 loops on the hook. Okay, so chain 2, 1 and 2, draw through 6 loops, yarn over and draw through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, chain 2, 1, 2, and draw through 2. Okay, then chain 2, 1 and 2, and draw through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, chain 2, yarn over and draw through 2. Okay, and we need to do that to last 5 loops, so I need to repeat this again. So I chain 2 and draw through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 2, yarn over and draw through 2, and I've got 5 loops left on my hook. So what I need to do is I chain 2, yarn over and draw through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over and draw through 2, and that's the end of the return pass for row number 3. Okay, now we're going to continue with row number 4 forward, and there will be the forward pass for row number 4. So we will start with 2 Tunisian double crochet in the top of the half blossom. So that's the very last stitch that we enclosed at the end of our work of return pass of row 3, and then we will start our stitch pattern. So let's do first 2 Tunisian double crochet in the top of the half blossom, made of those 4 loops. Okay, and now we're going to be starting the stitch pattern, and that is Tunisian full, Tunisian simple, Tunisian full, and 3 Tunisian double crochet in the top of the blossom, and we repeat this to the very last stitch of the row. Okay, so we will do Tunisian full, Tunisian simple, Tunisian full, and 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches into the top of the blossom. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Okay, again Tunisian full, simple, full, and 3 Tunisian double crochet in top of the blossom. Again Tunisian full, simple, full, and 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches into top of the blossom. Okay, now we get to the very last stitch, which is the edge stitch. So we need to do 1 Tunisian full before the edge stitch, like so, and then the edge stitch. Okay, so that's forward draw pass for row number 4. And for the return pass, we are going to be repeating a return pass for row number 2. Okay, so what we did is we started with yarn over and drawing through 3 loops to make a half blossom. So we yarn over and draw through 3 loops, and then we established a stitch pattern of chain 2, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, chain 2, yarn over, draw through 6 loops, and we did this all the way back to last 3 loops. Okay, so chain 2, draw through 2 loops, chain 2, and draw through 6 loops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 2, and draw through 2 loops, chain 2, yarn over and draw through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again chain 2, draw through 2 loops, chain 2, draw through 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to last 3 loops, and the very end was chain 2, yarn over, and draw through 2 loops twice, like so. And that's the return pass for row 4, which was the repetition of return pass for row 2. Okay, so from now on you would repeat the rows number 3 and 4 for the length of your project. So this would be rows 5 to 34. Okay, so rows 3 and 4 are repeated 15 times, so that gets you to row number 34. And then we will work a row number 35. So row number 35 is, we do a Tunisian simple stitch, like so, and then we do Tunisian simple stitch in the front loop of next chains twice. Okay, so next chain is here, so that's front loop 1 and 2. Okay, then we will do Tunisian simple stitch in the back loop of the chain that is at the top of the blossom, so that's this one here. So another Tunisian simple, and then Tunisian simple in the front loop of next chain twice, so that's 1 and 2. Okay, then Tunisian simple stitch, Tunisian simple stitch into the front of the next 2 chains, then Tunisian simple stitch into the loop that enclosed the blossom, and we will repeat this all the way to the end. Okay, so we are working into the front loop of chains, then we do Tunisian simple stitch into this stitch, and again working into the front loops of the chains, then into the chain that enclosed the blossom, the back loop, and like so for the rest of our row. Until we get to this, to the end, which was the half blossom, and we work another Tunisian simple stitch there. For the row number 35, we do a standard return pass of chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's a standard return pass for this row. Okay, so we are almost at the end of the standard return pass, and then we will work row 36, which is your bind off row. So this would be Tunisian simple stitch bind off. Okay, so how we work Tunisian simple stitch bind off is we'll work under the front vertical bars as if we were going to do a Tunisian simple stitch, but then we won't leave the loop on the hook, but we pull through the loop that is already on the hook. So we always have only 1 loop left on our hook. Okay, again, working Tunisian simple and pulling through the loop that is already on the hook. So that's the last row of our shawl. This would be a row number 36, and it is worked as Tunisian simple stitch bind off. Okay, in this way the beginning and the end of the shawl will match, so the stitches that were chosen for this so that we ensure that the project is similar at the end, beginning of and at the end. Okay, so I'm almost at the end. Work this all the way to the edge stitch of the previous row, Okay, you would snap your yarn, pull through, and that's it. That would be the end of your shawl. Okay, so as you can see on my little swatch, you can see the little blossom is creating, and that's the stitch pattern for the Lacy Blossom Shawl. Again, this is not a complete full pattern showing every single row of the pattern. I showed you the basic stitch repeats, and then you will continue working from the beginning, repeating the row 3 and 4. This tutorial serves as an accompaniment to the full pattern, which is on my blog, www.exquisitecrochetuk.com. You can find the full pattern there with more pictures. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below how you like the pattern, what yarn would you use to make it, and if you find it helpful, please share with your friends, give me a thumbs up, and consider subscribing. Many thanks, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.